My name is Michael. I'm one of the founders of ParkLogic.com, and I just wanted to discuss with you guys, give you a bit of a recap about the last 12 months. I'm thinking towards the end of the year it's probably worthwhile, and maybe give a bit of a cheerio and a Christmas greeting to you all as well. But anyway, so really what has happened across the last 12 months? What has been going on in the domain industry? A few things that I've noticed from my position, where ParkLogic, because we work with all the different monetization providers, whether they're affiliates, direct advertisers, or parking companies or anything like that, we get actually a very broad view of the whole industry, which is fantastic. So a couple of things that I've noticed, a few changes. Number one is this, is that the domain owners are actually migrating from a revenue mentality to a profit mentality. Yeah, that may seem a bit obvious, but really it's fundamental for driving a business. You can have a great revenue line, but still be losing a lot of money. And so we've been working with a lot of our clients, for instance, of how to minimize the costs of managing your domains, but also not just minimizing the direct costs such as registration fees, but a lot of the hidden costs, such as, for instance, one client we work with, they ended up they had a whole lot of staff helping to manage their portfolio and all that sort of stuff, and they were spending a lot of time in the portfolio themselves, and they had a lot of problems with that, and in the end, they outsourced the whole thing to us, ParkLogic. They actually reduced the amount of hours that they put into the portfolio down to essentially zero. And we provide them quarterly reports on what's happening with their portfolio, and also we maximize returns. The staff, rather than firing them, they could then reallocate them to other tasks within the company. And so it freed up a lot of the hidden time associated with the portfolio. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, this past 12 months, my gosh, I have been working so hard on my portfolio just to maintain my revenue line, then maybe it's time for you to start to consider, as we go into the new year, 2014, really, is there another way of doing this? Maybe I can outsource that, get all my time back, and then focus on, say, acquiring domains, or focus on developing the domains for a real business. There's these different things. Okay, that's the first thing I've noticed. And the second thing I've noticed is there's been a realization that extracting the max amount of value from traffic is no longer a matter of just changing DNS. If you think it's still just change my DNS from one different provider to another provider, then let me tell you, you're missing out on a lot of revenue. And we've got the numbers to prove that. I'm happy to share that with you at any stage, by the way, if you contact me directly. We've got all the numbers to show that the maximum any particular monetization provider wins is about 28%. It's typically around about 25%, which means if you have all your domains with one provider, then you're actually losing out 75% of the time. And like I said, we've got the numbers to show you to prove all that. So we've seen more and more people sort of realizing that, hey, you know what, this is actually a professional service that they need to get access to. So they've been outsourcing the optimization of their domain name portfolios to, say, a company like ParkLogic, and to get that max amount of value and return from their traffic. Now, so a few other things that what I really reflect across the last 12 months is more of a focus on sales. There has been a lot more focus on sales. I think the reason why is because people are looking for, domainers are looking for, where can they get revenue? If they're not going to get it from their traffic, can they get it from sales? And so they've been really trying to think of how they can sell their domains. And in some ways it's been almost a sense of desperation in that, or, oh quick, I need to do a sale because I need to meet my registration costs, or gee, I need to do something to get my business going. Yeah, so there has been a definite change in focus onto sales, greater and greater focus. And I think there's a large amount of opportunity in the sales area, but it's sales in a structured way. There's two different types of sale opportunities. One is what I would call an order taker. An order taker could be someone who comes to your domain, see there's a link there that, hey, you can buy this domain, or this domain may be for sale. They click on the link and they say, yeah, here's $500 and a sale's done. But there's another type of sales, which is you're dealing with professional domain name brokers. And the professional domain name broker comes along and they create the market opportunity, they stimulate the market, they get a number of players involved who want to buy that domain. Why? It could be a high value domain. So that's a different skill set altogether. And I know a lot of people out there put their hand up saying, hey, I'm a domain name broker. Be very careful if you're a domain owner, is that really think about it before you say lock yourself into someone or anything like that, that they've got a good track record of not just taking the order, but stimulating the market. All right, so there's quite a different series of changes. Now, one of the things I have been experimenting with, just personally with my own portfolio, is building out domains. And I relaunched downwind.com across the last few weeks. I've been built up another site called FF Tribes or Firefall Tribes. It's a part of a game will be launched next year. I've also built another site which is pokercompany.co.uk. And so I've been building out some sites and once again experimenting and making sure that I can play around with a different mixture of domains I outsource for complete management of those domains, plus what am I doing with my time that's freed up. Yeah, as of course ParkLogic, I go and spend about 95% of my time in ParkLogic. So along this journey I've had a lot of interesting experiences working alongside Google with Adsense, putting Adsense on the domains, getting direct advertisers on those domains as I built them out, and that's been really good. It's been worthwhile, and I would encourage every one of you to really build out a domain or a few domains to real businesses. Yeah, so that's been good. So what else is going on? Well, I think that obviously the new TLDs coming to the market is beginning to change or stimulate the market. It's going to be interesting to see how many of those actually get picked up and snapped up, and that's yet to be really proven. And I'll keep my ear to the ground next year, and I'm looking forward to conferences like Domain Fest, which is going to happen, I heard, which is great, towards the end of March, so I'm looking forward to that. Apparently it's going to be renamed back to Domain Fest, not Webfest. But there's a whole series of conferences. Obviously Traffic is coming up in May. NamesCon, I'd love to get there, but I must admit it happens to be situated in the middle of the Australian summer, so I'm with my family and stuff, so sorry I'm not going to be able to make it. I normally make it to just about every domain conference. I'm sure it'll be a great one, so I look forward to hearing lots of great reports. But anyway, what I'd like to also say to you, and all the team from ParkLogic would like to say to you, is a Merry Christmas and have a safe and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.